Next is causes of change on organization. So here we'll understand what are those causes that bring the change in the organization. It may be the external pressure, it may be the internal pressure. External pressure means when a pressure for change that comes outside the organization. And internal pressure means pressure for change from within the organization. Means we are in the pressure by maybe the external or maybe by the internal, for which we need the changes in the organization. Let's understand these terms one by one. Number one, external pressure. As I told you, that external pressure is a pressure for change from where it comes outside the organization it comes. So there can be many factors like change in technology and equipment. So we can say yes, advancements in technology is a major cause of change to meet and match the needs. These are the time we want to match the needs. And yes, here because of technology we want the change in the organization. Second point, that is market situation. So it includes rapidly changing goals, needs, desires of consumers, suppliers, unions, etc. If an organization has to survive, it has to cope up with the changes in market situation. Now let's take an example of nowadays. Nowadays what we do, if we want a product, what we will do, we'll sit with a mobile and we'll search on the internet and the e-commerce platforms where we can compare the prices. Maybe Flipkart, maybe Amazon. We have n number of e-commerce platforms where we can compare the prices and can ask our product online, right? So this is the market situation, that now your consumer is tech savvy, your consumer is enough smart. So the portals who are selling the products, they need to make the changes in their organization to meet the needs. This is called market situation. Next, third point that comes under the external pressure is social and political changes. Means relations between government and business or drive for social equality are some factors which may compel for organizational change. So we can say social change that also provides the external pressure to make the changes in the organization. Next is internal pressure, which comes within the organization. So first of all, changes in the managerial personnel, where we can say that no two managers have same style, same skill or managerial philosophies. For example, your new boss has come, right? New boss has joined the company. So he may bring the changes. He may bring the changes in the organization because he has different set skills. So this is the reason that we can say it's an internal pressure to bring the changes in the organization. Next point which comes under the internal pressure is deficiencies in the existing organization. Maybe there is no uniformity in the policies. There are obstacles in communication where you cannot communicate your things to your manager. There are obstacles. So what are these? Again, these are the pressures, internal pressure, where you want the change in the organization for the betterment of the employees and for the organization as well. Causes of change on technology. So we all know that technology is constantly changing and advancing. As time goes on, we use and rely on it more and less on traditional methods. For example, 30 years ago, when students would write research paper, they would rely on library books and interview for their information. But nowadays, what students need? They just need the internet. Yes, so while students now use the internet to find all the information they desire. So this is a big change in this 21st century. It has completely changed how people do simple tasks and made complicated one easier. And yes, not only this field, there are many other fields like health, like education, like business, communication, where technology has taken place. Next is causes of change in economy. So economic change is a shift in the structure of an economic system. This results in changes to societies, to cultures and everyday life for a global or national basis. Economic change caused by technology, politics and progress, it's a regular feature of history. And the last one here we can discuss about the social change, that what are the causes of change socially. So yes, we can say that technology, social institutions, population and the environment, all these four areas can impact when and how society changes, and they all are interrelated. A change in one area can lead to changes throughout. So yes, modernization is a typical result of social change. Modernization refers to the process of increased differentiation and specialization within a society, particularly around its industry and infrastructure. Moving ahead, today we are going to discuss Kurt-Lewin change model. So, to understand the change process, Kurt-Lewin developed a change model which involved 3 steps. Number 1, unfreezing. Number 2, changing. Number 3, refreezing. Let's discuss one by one what are these steps and how these steps are helpful in implementing the changes in any organization. So first, start with the unfreezing. To understand unfreezing, let's take an example. Before you cook a meal that has been frozen, you need to defrost it, right? So in the same way, unfreezing means to make your employees understand how it is important to implement the changes in the organization. Why? For the betterment of the employee and the organization as well, because the employee is with the organization, and yes, this is also true that the organization is with the employees. Without employees, organization cannot move, cannot work. And what is that tool? What is that important tool that make this happen? So communication. Communication is the best part to tell them about the change for the beneficial of both the parties. Second step is changing. So now people are unfrozen. This we have learned from the first step, right? So now they can begin to move. So Kurt-Lewin recognized that change is a process where organization must transit. This changing step is marked by the implementation of change. That implementation of change in the organization. Now on this step, what manager can do? They can understand their employees that how it is important, how it is essential to implement this change in the organization. Third step is refreezing, or we can say reinforcing. So in this step, it must be ensured that people do not revert back to their old ways of thinking and working. They must embrace this new change. They must go on with this change. This is the new change that they have implemented and they have embraced in the organization.